Brand new day, brand new Little Caesars collab. Spider-Man is a franchise that has really grown on me over the past few years. After watching all 10 theatrical films across Sam Raimi, Mark Webb, Spider-Verse, and the MCU, I can safely say there is no bad Spider-Man movie at this moment. These are all films I truly recommend to anyone who's into action and superhero films, and so far the MCU's portrayal of this character through Tom Holland and his standalone films has been great. Spider-Man Homecoming was a really good starting point for slowly adapting the character to fit in with the Avengers after Civil War, showcasing his struggles in trying to balance his school life, along with his new anonymous superhero persona that he frequently tries to prove that he is a worthy addition to the team of Earth's mightiest heroes. It does have a little bit of slow moments and cringeworthy humor, but is overall a solid first major Spider-Man film in the MCU. Spider-Man Far From Home is a substantial step up from its predecessor, and not only upping the ante with its wide variety of locations, but it also does a great job showcasing Peter's struggles between wanting to just enjoy a simple vacation and getting over his post-Endgame trauma. Before Brand New Day, Spider-Man No Way Home was my favorite Spider-Man film in the MCU, as it not only gives Peter the most intense challenge of dealing with his reputation after his secret is revealed and how it affects his loved ones as well, but creates a fantastic homage to every single live-action Spider-Man film to date by not only having the major villains from the Sam Raimi and Mark Webb films play a great role, but utilizing its multiverse plot to its fullest potential and having Tom Holland interact with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in such memorable ways, along with the character chemistry and climax that make this one of my favorite Spider-Man films in general. Spider-Man Brand New Day now follows Peter Parker dealing with a new reality where nobody knows who he is and only knows Spider-Man without who's behind the mask. That unfortunately includes his best friend Ned Leeds, played by Jacob Batalon, and former girlfriend MJ, played by Zendaya, whom he's decided to distance himself from for 4 years in order to keep them safe from the thrills of his superhero life. Eventually, the pressure of seeing his friends doing great things without him affects his body to the point where he gains an evolution to his spider powers that he has a hard time controlling, all while a new threat that nobody can see wreaks havoc in the city by invading the minds of other people. I want to start off by pointing out positive qualities like the effects and shots in this film, because wow are they breathtaking, and probably the greatest the MCU Spider-Man films have ever looked. I think some of my favorite shots in the film had to be the one where Peter is hanging upside down above the whole city, as well as the one where he drops down and it shows a close-up on his face inside the mask with no audio other than his heavy breathing. The action and fight scenes were of course a joy to watch, with even having solid villain encounters and appearances from Scorpion, Tombstone, and more. One of the standouts for me was the entire fight sequence with Bruce Banner in his Hulk form, which also contained hilarious homages to Hulk's past fights in the MCU. However, if I were to have some small minor criticisms, I think the Hulk's appearance, while it is entertaining, felt a little undercooked because they set him up as if he's gonna play like a bigger role in this film, but after his fight scene with Spider-Man, he's just kind of taken out of the picture and never seen or mentioned again through the rest of the film's runtime. I can't spoil the villain, but I feel like their character arc kind of ends on an underwhelming note, despite them coming off as a pretty good threat during a majority of the runtime. But how they're dealt with by the end definitely felt a little messy in my opinion. But that's where my criticisms end, because my favorite part about this film is how they handle Peter Parker. They do it in such a phenomenal way, and I honestly think this is around the same level as No Way Home in terms of how well it handles Peter's character specifically, as well as the emotional beats in his identity crisis that is tied to not only his grievance over losing everything he had ever cared for since the ending of No Way Home, his desire to connect with Ned and MJ while also not wanting to put their lives in danger with his adventures, creates some of the most emotional moments I've seen in an MCU film since Avengers Endgame. You want to see him get his old life back, and the movie really makes you feel for him in his attempts to do so, especially during a good number of scenes involving him and MJ that pull zero punches by sticking to their guns following No Way Home's ending, and that is so freaking smart. This factor also connects to the main interactions that aren't his former friends like the Punisher. John Bernthal not only gives a hilariously badass performance as a character, but he works as a good cooperation force with Peter to work in connection connect with, as he is another being who suffers from great loss and heartbreak. Peter has been through all kinds of pain at this point, but at the end of the day, he realizes that he's human and takes pride in dedicating his life to protecting those in need, while also socializing and building relationships with others in order to live life to its fullest potential. Spider-Man Brand New Day is one of the greatest depictions of the character I have ever seen on the big screen, as it not only pulls off incredible effects and mesmerizing action, but continues what makes this character so beloved in the first place by making him as human as possible, by showing how he progresses through his turmoil and takes pride for who he truly is as a person. I cannot stress enough how much you need to watch this film right now, as it truly is one of the greatest things out of the MCU I've seen since Infinity War. I have a hard time choosing between this and No Way Home as my favorite Spider-Man in the MCU, but that just goes to show how much they truly care about this character. 9 out of 10. Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe for more detailed reviews and analysis on movies, TV, gaming, and more. And remember to keep calm and let life carry you on.